This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Questionable spending. Halifax Auditor General asked the police to look at financial expenses in the mayor's office.
Diamond divided. Baseball organizers oppose turning a Dartmouth ball field into a cricket ground.
And this Cape Breton downhill skateboarder shifts gears to teach local kids speed, safety, and life lessons.
Wet weather building into the region overnight and throughout the day on Tuesday. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. The Halifax Auditor General has asked police to look at financial expenses in the mayor's office.
A new report has found 4 transactions from Mayor Andy Fillmore's office did not follow city policy. The CBC's Haley Ryan has more.
Nova Scotia RCMP is investigating a report of financial irregularities from the Halifax Mayor's Office. A report from the Halifax Auditor General on Monday found 4 transactions from Mayor Andy Fillmore's office did not follow city policy.
There were elements of some of them that moved past the line of clearly just not compliant and started to make me ask whether they're, were they a little worse than not compliant? And that's not my job to assess whether something is illegal.
Auditor General Andrew Atherton says he was not sure whether some of the transactions entered criminal territory, so he sent them all to Halifax Regional Police. That force sent the matter to Nova Scotia RCMP, who began investigating last month. The transactions include a $14,000 expense for an external speechwriter and $91,000 for a reorganization of the mayor's office that were not sent for competitive tender. Fillmore's office also charged 2 external legal expenses to the city, totaling more than $7,000. The report says the mayor's chief of staff incorrectly logged the second legal expense even after being told the proper policy. Fillmore has since paid the legal expenses back to the municipality from his personal funds.
There is the possibility that there is some shaken trust. It's not entirely clear that people are concerned with trust in the mayor's office. We'll see where it all lands.
You don't believe that people will be concerned about the RCMP investigating your office?
I think that anyone should be concerned about that.
The mayor's staff has now received training on proper finance procedures. Fillmore says he does not plan to suspend his chief of staff while the investigation is ongoing. Atherton says he did not make any recommendations because it is always expected that city policy should be followed. Haley Ryan, CBC News, Halifax.
Crown prosecutors are still reviewing evidence in the case of a newborn baby found deceased in a wooded area just outside of Halifax. Sukhpreet Singh and Ramandeep Kaur are charged with disposing the body of a child, indignity to a dead body, and 2 counts of obstruction. They both retain lawyers through legal aid who say they are still waiting on a lengthy disclosure package. Singh and Kaur have agreed to stay in custody until their next court appearance. The medical examiner is also working to determine the cause of death of the baby's mother, who died in hospital following the newborn's disappearance. But police say she was not a victim of violence.
Safety violations continue at Cape Breton's Donkin coal mine despite a lack of production. Next month marks the 3-year anniversary since coal stopped being hauled out of the underground mine. Despite that, the mine has been inspected 23 times and been cited 6 times for violations of workplace safety regulations. The Department of Labor has said the work orders were for minor issues. The province shut the underground mine down in July of 2023 after the roof in one of the access tunnels caved in twice in 1 month. It was eventually allowed to reopen, but the owners have not restarted operations.
Maritime Bus wants you to pay more for a ride if you book last minute. The company is asking for permission to introduce dynamic pricing for their tickets. The CBC's Wayne Thibodeau explains how that will affect the cost of riding the coach.
Maritime Bus wants people who buy last-minute tickets to pay more, up to 35%. But regulators in both New Brunswick and Nova Scotia are raising concerns about the PEI bus company's plans to introduce so-called dynamic pricing. Maritime Bus is based here in Charlottetown. It's been operating bus routes across the Maritimes for 14 years. The company appeared before regulators this week to pitch the idea of dynamic pricing. It says about half of all customers buy their tickets within 36 hours of their trip because the company guarantees they'll have a seat. Company officials wouldn't do an interview, but they told the hearing they don't want to implement across-the-board price hikes. But they also don't want people to see the bus as a last resort.
People don't have any risk or fear of not being able to travel when they want to travel. There's no financial incentive to book early. They can walk in on a Monday morning, on Thanksgiving weekend, one of our busiest days of the year, and they can buy that ticket. And they're going to pay the same price as if they bought it 30 days previous to that. We'd be paying a lot more.
During the hearing held virtually, regulators raised concerns with the request to charge premiums up to 35%, even though the company says its plans were to start small, with a 10% premium on tickets purchased late.
You hear it everywhere about the challenges with increasing prices, particularly for fuel, but there's vehicle acquisition costs. It takes time to even order. If you're in the transit business, or to order buses, right? So all of those different challenges are meaning that it looks like companies are having to be innovative in the way that they approach trying to cover their costs to be able to deliver the service.
Bus fares have not increased in the past 14 years. For example, people can book a seat from Charlottetown to the Halifax airport for about $58. Summerside to Moncton will cost about $38. Maritime Bus is also looking to reduce its Halifax to Moncton route from 3 times a day to 2. Company officials say they want to avoid what they describe as the death spiral, raising the rates to offset declining ridership. They hope this new plan will put more people in buses. Cassidy says they'll take a closer look at that 35% figure and come up with a new plan for regulators by July 3rd. Wayne Thibodeau, CBC News, Charlottetown.
And to check in now on the weather forecast, here's Ryan.
Pretty nice start to the week, Ryan.
Yeah, great start. Lots of sunshine today. Temperatures back in the wheelhouse for where we should be this time of year, which is basically into the low 20s. A little sluggish still temperature-wise across Cape Breton today. More so into the mid-teens, as you can see for most. Port Hawkesbury, though, up to 18 and some 20s inland. Now, as we look ahead to Tuesday, temperatures are going to slide a little bit back into the teens for most. Still some 20s on the board up towards Truro and the Northumberland shore, but that southeast wind is going to have a big influence, as to will the clouds and the wet weather that are going to be building in. And this is the next system. A chance for showers before morning for western areas. Most of us holding off until Tuesday morning, and then, Cape Breton into the mix throughout Tuesday afternoon. Note the darker greens, yellows, that's the heavier rains that are going to be arriving throughout the afternoon, evening, and overnight, and then this will all slide out slowly but surely as we move into the midweek. Your full 7-day forecast is coming up in a couple of minutes.
Do stay tuned.
Thanks,
Ryan.
Thank you.
Well, as interest in sports like cricket and baseball grows, people are running out of places to play. As Andy Mullins reports, the number of fields is not keeping pace with the growing number of players.
This is the only field in the Halifax Regional Municipality that is fully dedicated to competitive cricket. But
the reality is it's really a dump, right? It's really like a landfill where they put a ground.
There are 500 players registered with the Nova Scotia Cricket Association. For years, they have been calling for a new field dedicated to their sport alone, one that is level and will stay that way. Here at Don Bayer Park, that's not the case.
And it's a significant risk for our players running in. So you're looking up to catch the ball or field the ball, not paying attention to the hole. Massive trip hazard.
Have you had any injuries?
We've had 2 injuries already reported.
The city received provincial funding to set up a new cricket field, but size requirements for the sport means their options are limited. The city has settled on the Dartmouth Commons, but there's a catch.
The problem is it's moving out the younger baseball players.
The HRM's playing field strategy says the city has enough fields to accommodate the players elsewhere, but that strategy was released in 2023. Kyle Wagner's child plays baseball in the area, and he says the number of fields in the city is not keeping pace with the sport's growing popularity.
Absolutely not. I don't know where HRM is getting their data. Certainly in Porter's Lake, if you got kids that are 10 and 11, they're playing at 8:30. There's ball fields, but when it comes to hardball, you need a pitching mound. So they can make the argument that there is enough fields, but there's not enough proper fields.
Youth baseball participation in Nova Scotia has gone up 65% in 5 years, according to the Dartmouth District Minor Baseball Association. It's had to turn away some players due to a lack of space. When it comes to the Dartmouth Commons, Wagner wonders if there is a compromise that can be made. But the Cricket Association says that wouldn't solve their problem. Already, they can't get enough field bookings, and that's holding junior and female players back. Council will discuss the matter on June 23rd. Andy Mullins, CBC News, Halifax.
Sail GP made its return to Halifax this weekend. Thousands of people filled the waterfront to catch some of the action. On the water, the F-50 catamarans reached speeds of around 75 kilometers per hour, making sharp turns and keeping fans on their feet. Canada's North Star Sail GP team finished 7th in the race, while Spain finished 1st. Here is what fans had to say about the event.
It's awesome. Beautiful weather and a great event.
Would you want to be on the water doing what they are doing?
Maybe not. It looks pretty scary.
Yeah, I'd say so. It'd be cool, but a bit scary.
Well, it's really fun and intense.
It's probably the busiest I've ever seen the boardwalk.
Yes, yeah, this is quite busy seeing the amount of people around, watching and just, around here. There's a cruise ship in earlier. There's lots of people that have traveled for this kind of event. Seeing the amount of people here is just amazing.
Sail GP will return to Halifax for a 3rd time next year.
Halifax kids gathered at a basketball court in the North End, but they were not there to dribble. Instead, the organization Fun Sports repurposed the space to teach hockey essentials. The purpose is to let lower-income kids try their hand at different sports at no cost.
What we like to do is bring in all the equipment so that the kids have access to the equipment, bring in some great coaches so they learn from qualified people, and ultimately emphasize the fun.
The event also brought together former NHLers to raise funds for the organization.
Well, in downhill skateboarding, speed is key, but one skater in Cape Breton says it's a lot more than just that.
As Anna Rack reports, it's all about safety and the next generation.
Zach Paul is a downhill skateboarder from Member 2. He speeds by at about 60 kilometers per hour. He says his top speed is around 100.
When people see this sport generally, they think about the thing I always get is, oh, you must have a death wish.
He says when he's going that fast, it all comes down to training. And for him, speed is like meditation.
When you get up to a certain speed, or even when you're just having fun at a slower speed, you can't think of anything else. You can't think of bills, you can't think of, work. You have to be in the moment.
When he's not competing around the world, he and his wife, Katie Kaiser, are trying to pass on downhill skateboarding to kids in the community, teaching them the basics of skating in a safe space.
I've seen firsthand with Zach taking the kids out that it gets the kids outside, off their screens, on the boards, they're building friendships, they're challenging themselves, they're doing risk assessment. So it is such a good thing for the kids to be doing.
Oh yeah, you've never done it before. How are you going to be good at something you've never done?
He starts with teaching the kids to stand on the board and find their balance. Once they're comfortable, they can practice pushing the board uphill.
If you're going really fast, like up there to down, you're kind of nervous first, but Zach helped me.
Samuel Paul is 11 years old, and he's been practicing skateboarding for a year now.
What's so great about being able to, come out here and hang out with your friends and skate around for a while?
Probably exercise and speediness.
Both Paul and Kaiser hope to change skateboarding's bad reputation by using it to bring kids together in an active way.
I think skateboarding and longboarding, they both get kind of a bad rap. Skaters are seen as like delinquents and troublemakers. But I have seen firsthand, and as an outsider looking into this community, I've seen skateboarding save lives. I've seen it get people off drugs. I've seen it get people out of mental health issues.
The couple provide everything the kids need, from the wheels to the safety gear, so they can safely take up the sport. Anna Rack, CBC News, member 2.
Ryan's up next with the full weather forecast. Stay with us.
All right, I'd say we're on a bit of a summer roll there. Beautiful day Sunday, Monday, pretty nice day as well, certainly in the Halifax area.
Yes, but we do need the rain.
Yeah, that's right. Speed bump Tuesday coming.
Yeah. But it's a Tuesday, right?
It is a Tuesday, yes. And this will be the wetter day that, the wettest day we've seen in quite some time. Kind of widespread amounts in the 20, 30, 40 millimeter range. So a good drink for sure. Have a look first at our time lapse today. Iona. Beautiful start. Look at that sunrise.
Sky is alive there, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah, terrific start to the day across the entire province, but Cape Breton, a super sweet start there. Turned into a pretty nice, solid day with lots of sunshine, big blue skies. Clouding up a little bit into the afternoon, as you can see, but overall it was a pretty solid day from start to finish right across the province. And a live look right now. Yeah, things have clouded up in Iona and across Cape Breton, though still expecting a partly cloudy sky for tonight. Temperatures out there right now ranging between 13 in Sydney, 18 Iona to Port Hawkesbury, and across the mainland we're looking at temperatures for the most part into those low 20s and a few high teens closer to those onshore winds. Now, as we look forward, we're going to be looking at a bit of a cool down for tomorrow thanks to the clouds and this southeast flow, which has already started to kick in, but the wind will be stronger for sure on Tuesday, sustained near 20, gusting 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. Note the clouds that have been moving in. There's that cloud cover that's kicked up across Cape Breton and across the Northumberland shore as well. Thicker clouds back to the west on the leading edge of this system, which is rolling its way up through New England right now and bringing some rain all the way down to the U.S. southeast. And this system is right down to the Gulf. Now, as you can see, we are looking at things that have been quite unsettled across Western Canada today as well. 13 in Calgary, though 20 in Regina, 24 in Quebec City, 12 in St. John's as the very cool overall cool June continues here. For the most part across Newfoundland and Cape Breton is that's where the temperatures have been coolest over the last few weeks. Let's run you through our rainfall outlook as we look at the forecast right through Wednesday afternoon. We're looking at, as I said earlier, 20, 30, maybe 40 millimeters. Could see some pockets that do push up towards 50 millimeters in the southwest of the province, but this is a substantial shot for most and a much needed one at that, especially in the southwest where things have been still carrying on from the drought last summer. Now, as we look at the chance for showers here before morning, Kentville, Bridgewater, Yarmouth, overnight lows tonight around 13 degrees. As you can see here, that chance for showers will climb in before morning, and there's a slight risk before morning for Halifax and towards the Truro region, but really it's Kentville to Lunenburg County and west of that line. Note some sunshine early in the morning for you folks in Cape Breton. The clouds will increase throughout the morning, and those showers will start to march in as we move into the afternoon. Note the reds, yellows, oranges. These are the heavier rains that are expected to move in throughout the afternoon and into the evening. And if you do have some Tuesday evening plans, soccer, baseball, whatever you're going to be outside doing, make sure it includes an umbrella. Going to be a pretty damp evening and can't rule out a risk for a thunderstorm late tomorrow into tomorrow evening as well. Temperatures across Cape Breton tomorrow, quite variable. Southeast winds, water temperatures are 8 to 12 here along the coast, so it is going to be pretty chilly, but inland should get into the 20s. Places like Inverness County, Antigonish near 21 tomorrow. Should be in and around the high teens near 20, Truro, Cobequid Bay, but 15 to 16 through the metro area, back along the South Shore, and into the high teens through the Annapolis Valley. That wet weather moves out Wednesday morning, looking at the scattered showers, then clearing into the afternoon for the mainland. Cape Breton, you folks are staying damp right through till Wednesday evening. Temperatures, as a result, will struggle in Cape Breton on Wednesday, but will pop into the high teens and low 20s where we clear, especially in the west. Thursday looks like our nicest day of that 7-day outlook as we are looking at that low moving out. Sun and cloud for Thursday. Temperatures should be in the 20 to 24 range. Increasing clouds, late day shower chances for Friday. Looks like a scattered shower chance for Saturday and again on Sunday, though a little greater risk on Sunday where I'm not so certain we'll see the sun, but I think Saturday at this point we should. We'll keep you posted on that throughout the week.
You'll keep an eye on it for sure. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Well, the 30th annual National Indigenous Peoples Day was celebrated over the weekend.
The CBC's Luke Ettinger attended a celebration in Millbrook First Nation. Have a look.
People from across Mi'kma'ki were in Millbrook on Friday to celebrate National Indigenous Peoples Day. Since 1996, traditions, cultures, and contributions of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis have been officially recognized on the summer solstice. This time of year holds a deep spiritual and cultural significance for many Indigenous peoples.
As Indigenous people, and embrace every race, every color within our community. That's what today is all about. It's about sharing the knowledge, sharing the history, sharing the culture, and embracing and the knowledge of our Indigenous people.
Jacqueline Stevens traveled from Eskazoni First Nation to take part in the grand entry.
To be a Mi'kmaq woman, and it's a very honorable privilege to be part of my culture and to show everyone my traditional regalia and to do the dance and do the honor song along with everyone else in the grand entry.
Indigenous artists and vendors were also on hand. 18-year-old Dakaya Nelson started making ribbon skirts 2 years ago.
I love it. I do workshops with youth all the time, and it's just my favorite thing ever, seeing everybody so happy and they feel so beautiful in their skirts, and it means the world to me.
Jennifer Claude and Daniel Stevens are also sharing their wooden flowers.
This would probably take a few hours. Yeah, a smaller flower might take like 10 minutes.
It's fun teaching workshops, and don't want the culture to die, so we're going to share it with other people.
People from across Mi'kma'ki attended the event on Friday, with many planning to celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day throughout the weekend. Luke Ettinger, CBC News, Millbrook First Nation.
Coming up, a look back at the Sail GP weekend, including the impact it had on Halifax and the lessons learned.
CBC Gem.
Well, the Halifax waterfront now getting back to what might seem a little more normal after what was a blockbuster weekend down here, really, with Sail GP in town. Lots of other things happening in the city as well. But here to talk about some of this is Paul McKinnon from the Downtown Halifax Business Commission. It was billed as a big weekend in downtown Halifax. In the end, how big was it?
You know, it was huge. Downtown Halifax is our vision to be Canada's favorite downtown. I think last weekend we could see that we are in fact already there. It's not aspirational. It was an amazing weekend. There was so much going on. Sail GP, of course, was the headliner. It brought people in from all over the world. But there was the Come From Away, season finale that's coming back next year. Sail GP is coming back next year. We had some outdoor watch parties and indoor watch parties for the World Cup. The Argyle Shore Party. Downtown was everything you could expect it to be last weekend.
It was busy, to say the least. Do you have a sense, early on at least, how many people did attend the Halifax waterfront?
We certainly expected it's going to blow the records out of the water from last year. Last year was actually our busiest tourism season in downtown Halifax ever. We're on pace to beat that this year. We do get data that comes in through a service provider that tracks cell phones. So we haven't got that data yet, but we will be looking at that to see just how big it was. But there's no question, all the reports, and of course you just had to be here to see how busy and vibrant it was. And the weather was pretty good. It was amazing on Sunday. It was pretty good on Saturday and Friday as well. So yeah, an amazing weekend all around.
All right, Sail GP, obviously the big draw this weekend down here. Any lessons learned from how it went from a downtown Halifax point of view? As you say, they are coming back again next May. But looking back at how things went this past weekend.
There's always lessons that we can learn. I mean, one of the things that, of course, that we always hear is concerns about maybe congestion or how you get downtown, in a speedy manner when it's so busy. Sunday, that was really complicated because the race times were moved kind of last minute, so people had to scramble a little bit. But in the end, I think it worked out for everybody. It really echoed to us that, we've got a pretty decent transit system. Of course, we could always use some improvements with that. We'd love to see us moving into bus rapid transit. So improving that public transportation system is really important. But we also want to highlight to people, people were still able to come down, find a place to park. So there is still plenty of parking downtown, even on the busiest weekend of the year. So yeah, there's lots of learnings we'll take from this, and we're always seeking to improve that experience. But certainly all the feedback I've heard so far has been nothing but positive.
What are the conversations like with Sail GP, now planning to come back for their third year, next year, in terms of what this city is providing? I heard some positive commentary on television yesterday, watching the event. But what are the organizers of Sail GP saying to the likes of you?
Well, it's interesting because this is an event that can go anywhere in the world. They really love Halifax. They love the just what we experience on the waterfront because it's such an urban environment. I mean, the track, it's pretty big. It's the whole harbor, but it's really small compared to other places where they go. So it's a great backdrop when they're filming it. It's a great way to showcase Halifax to the world. But really what I've heard from the organizers, they just love the feel, that people get so excited to have Sail GP here, that the waterfront is so vibrant and packed and so urban. So very excited to have them back next year. That's already signed, sealed, and delivered. And my understanding is that they're looking at future events as well.
When you look in the future and you look at the Halifax waterfront and you continue to imagine what more it could be, what is on your list? What do you want to see this destination become?
There's a couple of things on our list, and there's some great opportunities coming up. So if you go, further north on the boardwalk, the boardwalk was almost complete, but now with the announcement of the casino moving, there's a huge piece of land that's opening up on the northernmost part of the boardwalk before you hit the Navy Yards. So that's a huge opportunity. There's so much that could go there. It's a huge space. They're selling it and billing it as 1 million square feet. So things like a permanent outdoor performing space, right? That's something that's really important. We've got amazing events down here like the Jazz Festival, but every year, depending on what happens on the waterfront, they're never quite sure where they're going to be able to perform. They've had to move a couple of times. Wouldn't it be great if we had an outdoor performance space, a permanent one, on the waterfront somewhere here, maybe at the casino property, maybe somewhere else? That's something that I think that's a must for our downtown.
How is the city doing attracting events? I know it's a big concert weekend coming up in Halifax with the Chicks and Weezer coming this weekend. How are we doing attracting or at least drawing interest from big ticket items?
Well, the nice thing is we have a whole stable of regular events, so things like the Tattoo, the Jazz Festival, things that people can anticipate every year. The Buskers is another great example. I think we need to do a better job at attracting more national and international events, but particularly in the off season. I mean, the summer's always really busy downtown, and so it is actually kind of tough to find some free weekends or free times to actually put in a lot of extra events. We need to figure out what's that great event that we can have in October, or dare I say in January or February, that would attract a crowd. So I think the minds at Discover Halifax, Tourism Nova Scotia, they're thinking about that, and there are some plans in the works. So we'd love to see this become truly a year-round destination.
Some might say that May is a shoulder season on the Halifax waterfront. And that's when Sail GP is coming back next year, the middle of May, and you're never sure what kind of weather you might get then. But is that an example of trying to? I don't know sure why that schedule is that way. I think it'd have to do with other locations and availability of harbor time. But is that an example of something where you can try and broaden out the season, looking at things a little differently?
Exactly, and there's some events that really only can work in the summertime. Just they're very weather dependent, like an outdoor concert on Citadel Hill probably isn't going to be very popular in January or February. But Sail GP is a bit weather resistant. We learned that a couple of years ago when actually, if you remember, the weather was terrible. And so May can be kind of iffy, but the wind will be blowing, and as long as the wind is blowing, people will come out and see it, and you'll have a great time. So I think part of that targeting strategy are those events that maybe aren't so dependent on weather, or they're bigger indoor events. We think about when the Juno Awards was here the last couple of times. So some things, additional things that can happen in the Scotiabank Centre, or if we were to build a new performing arts space that was actually indoors as well. That's another need that we have. So you could have things like a permanent home for Symphony Nova Scotia, for instance. So lots of opportunities, and we really need to kind of, this is something we do well. We do events well, we do tourism well. Stretching it out to 12 months a year, I think is completely doable.
Yeah, dare to dream. Okay, Paul McKinnon, thank you so much.
Great, thank you.
Coming up, Canada's inflation rate was up again in May, thanks in part to the high cost of gas and tomatoes.
And a fatal shooting in Montreal leaves 3 people dead, including a police officer and a bystander. Welcome back. The rising cost of tomatoes and high gas prices forced inflation to go up in May.
The rate is now above 3% for the first time since late 2023. Angie Seth takes a closer look at what's causing it and its implications.
The Consumer Price Index is up 3.2% year over year in May. Energy continues to be the main driving factor. Prices at the pumps rose faster in May year over year compared to April due to the war in the Middle East and the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. But is the surge in inflation resting entirely on energy? Economists say the higher prices do raise concerns about overall inflation for the average consumer.
When people go to gas up their cars or start to see the impact on their purchasing power, then that starts to set off essentially inflation expectations. And this is where then you start to see that playing out in wages, and it affects more broadly, essentially domestic inflationary pressures.
The spillover, although minimal, is affecting other areas like produce. Prices of vegetables rose to 9%. Broccoli, cauliflower, lettuce, and tomatoes are the big drivers. And tomatoes making headlines, jumping up 45% in price. But energy alone is not the cause. Statistics Canada says, quote, due to supply contractions in Mexico stemming from poor weather and a reduction in planted acreage following the implementation of U.S. tariffs. The cost of fruit also rose 5.3%, with grapes and berries driving up that cost. Travel continues to be expensive due to high operational costs and jet fuel. And according to RBC, energy is still the main driving factor, saying, quote, inflation trends continue to move broadly in line with the Bank of Canada's inflation target. And that target sits at 2%. Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklin noted earlier this month during the most recent interest rate announcement, highlighting that if there is spillover beyond energy prices, it could prompt an interest rate change. Andrew Seth, CBC News, Toronto.
A police officer and a civilian have died after a shooting near downtown Montreal. Authorities say the suspect is also dead. Details of the incident are still unclear. It happened in the Côte-de-Neige district. The police chief spoke to media earlier today.
We received a 911 call coming from a citizen. So I don't know, but I don't think it was police target, but maybe we'll see what the investigation will tell us. But it was a 911 call from a citizen telling us there's somebody who's shooting from a specific place. And at that moment, when the police came, that person wasn't on the different floors, he was already on the rez-de-chaussée. Then the crossfire starts.
It is the first Montreal police officer fatally shot in the line of duty in 24 years. Witnesses say they heard dozens of shots, and authorities issued a shelter-in-place order, which was later lifted. A second police officer who was also shot is now in stable condition.
Canada is planning to build up to 10 nuclear reactors over the next 15 years. Officials say construction could cost more than $100 billion. It's not yet clear where that money comes from. One of the goals of Ottawa's strategy is to boost power to the country's electricity grid.
If our goal is to double our grid and reach net zero by 2050, there is no credible plan for Canada to do that without nuclear energy and the clean, reliable baseload power it provides.
A new turn for the proposed path of Canada's first high-speed rail. The Liberal government says it's looking at changing the route. It's asking the company in charge of development to consider a stop in Kingston, Ontario. Ashley Burke reports.
Protesters trying to put the brakes on high-speed rail.
It's all for the money. It's nothing else, just money.
It's only going to feed and help the politicians and the business people that want to go from one hub to the other.
Some worry the proposed track would slice through their farms, properties, and communities, forcing them to give up land.
I understand the fear. It's kind of the fear of the unknown.
Canada's transport minister says after more than 330,000 people weighed in during consultations, he's now directing the developer to study a potential stop in Kingston, Ontario.
You think about people in Kingston who might want to go to a Blue Jay game or a Montreal Canadiens game and can be back at home in their bed by midnight. It will literally change life in those kinds of ways.
The original proposed plan was more direct from Toronto to Quebec City. Now Alto needs to look at dropping down to Kingston, which would make the trip longer and cost more to build.
Yes, there is additional cost with it, but there's increased ridership to compensate with the extra cost. I'm not going to go into more detail, but the warm, fuzzy feeling is that economically it makes sense to have the station in Kingston.
But the new study doesn't mean property owners are breathing a sigh of relief. The old plan is still on the table.
Does it alleviate? It might for some. I think the hierarchy for those who are concerned about this project is still no Alto.
The opposition wants the government to scrap the project that's estimated to cost up to $90 billion.
Conservatives would use the Alto research money to take taxes off used cars.
Residents will start finding out in the fall if the train will cut through their properties. The transport minister says the government hopes to negotiate with property owners willing to sell, but will expropriate land if it needs to. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is stepping down as head of the UK Labour Party, an announcement that will set off yet another contest for a new PM. It comes as a possible contender officially steps onto the national stage. Briar Stewart reports.
It was obvious change was coming at 10 Downing Street even before Keir Starmer walked out.
The question my party is asking now is whether I am best placed to lead us into the next general election. I have heard the answer, and I accept that answer with good grace.
And just like that, the revolving door of British politics turned once more. In less than 10 years, 6 different prime ministers have resigned. Starmer is the latest. Before that, there was Rishi Sunak, Liz Truss, Boris Johnson, Theresa May, and David Cameron. Starmer's term began nearly 2 years ago after a landslide Labour victory, but then came the political struggles. Among them, his decision to appoint Peter Mandelson, a close friend of Jeffrey Epstein, as UK ambassador to the US. But Starmer's personal style was also a factor. Some called him bland. Did you like him?
I didn't dislike him, but I think he had no... You know what I mean? Go, get up and go.
I've heard he's a nice man, and perhaps he is, but as a politician, no, not for me, no.
For others, they believe his government didn't do enough to make the country more livable and affordable.
We hope that the candidate that are going to take his place might have enough power to drive what's needed for the country to move forward.
That I will put myself forward in the
And this man will almost certainly be next in line to lead the Labour Party, Andy Burnham. The former mayor of Manchester was sworn in as a Labour MP after winning a crucial by-election last week.
So help me God.
And his arrival in London was greeted with the type of wall-to-wall media coverage that befits a future PM.
I think Burnham is obviously a better salesman, but the question is whether a better salesman can sell pretty much the same policy offer to the electorate.
If indeed it ends up being more of a coronation, that means that Burnham could be in office in mid-July. Briar Stewart, CBC News, London.
U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance says the peace talks with Iran have set a good foundation for a permanent deal between the two countries. He says Iran has agreed to allow nuclear inspectors back into the country to ensure it is not building a nuclear weapon. Crystal Gamansing reports.
A major milestone is how Vice President J.D. Vance termed the fact that Iran will allow inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency into the country. But it is worth noting that there were regular inspections taking place during the Obama negotiated deal with Iran, the JCPOA. And when U.S. President Donald Trump pulled the United States out of that deal back in 2018, calling it a bad deal, he was also critical of the information gained by the IAEA inspectors, saying they weren't getting enough access. Now, it is unclear with these newly announced inspections if they will have access to disclosed sites, undisclosed sites, as well as any nuclear sites that had been damaged in recent strikes. Now, the vice president said the talks in Switzerland are like building a house.
The way that I think about it is very simple.
we laid a very good foundation for a successful final deal. The final deal is the house. We set the foundation. We haven't built the house, but we've laid a successful foundation to get to a good place for the American people.
During those talks, mediated by Pakistan and Qatar, the two sides also agreed to working groups to ensure the Strait of Hormuz is able to open and will remain open despite any potential flare-ups in the future, and a similar working group to deal with the issues in Lebanon to ensure that there is a ceasefire and that it is maintained, and that if there are any conflicts between Hezbollah and Israel, it doesn't escalate further. Now, the vice president has said he wants to see peace in Lebanon that not only respects Israel's ability to defend itself and ensure the safety of those residents in the north, but also respects the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Lebanon. How that will be accomplished has yet to be worked out. Crystal Gamansing, CBC News, Jerusalem.
Much of Europe is already under a heat wave as summer kicks off. Millions of people are experiencing extreme hot weather. There have been more than a dozen heat-related deaths, and several schools have either closed or had to change timetables to offer some relief. Annan Ram has the details.
As Europeans swelter under a heat wave, even attempts to cool off have cost lives. French authorities say drownings are up as people seek relief, with 13 deaths this weekend alone, including children who couldn't handle river currents. It's an oppressive start to summer across the continent. From Paris to Seville to Munich, people managed however they could.
And we made this wet. Yeah, a scarf, make it wet.
Wet?
And it helps.
Temperatures approached unbearable levels, reading into the mid-40s in Madrid. Little relief for those who have to be outside, other than to keep water close at hand. But if you have to go because of work, you go. What can we do? Air conditioning is still a rarity in Europe, even in schools. Across France, more than 1,300 were closed, and here's why.
It's called an omega block. There's a kind of a bulge in the pressure field with this sort of hot air sitting underneath it and cooler air on either side.
In other words, a heat dome fueled by hot winds from Africa, parking itself over Western and Central Europe. And climate change is making matters worse.
When we have a heat wave, we're now seeing temperatures in Europe that are 2 to 4 degrees higher than would have been the case without human-caused warming.
This heat is expected to last well into the week, with the added danger that nighttime temperatures aren't that much better, meaning more deaths may be ahead. Anand Ram, CBC News, Toronto.
Canada is now closer to acquiring a highly sophisticated long-distance radar system to help defend the Arctic. Secretary of State for Defense Procurement Stephen Fuhr is in Australia, which makes the radar to sign the $2.5 billion agreement.
This capability will significantly enhance Canada's Arctic domain awareness, detect and track air and maritime threats with much greater range, strengthen NORAD by providing earlier warning and improving continental defense, and reinforce Canada's Arctic sovereignty.
The over-the-horizon radar system is seen as a crucial investment in NORAD, allowing it to detect aircraft and missile threats from over the far north. The system is expected to be operational by 2029.
Canada's main stock index rose nearly 150 points, helped by gains in the basic materials and utilities sectors, while U.S. markets were mixed. Here's a look at the numbers as we head to break. Yes, I would say looking around Nova Scotia these last couple of days, almost picture perfect, don't you think?
Absolutely. We're hitting the peak, right? Or we're getting there.
Yeah, we're hitting our stride.
Yeah.
We want to keep things green and lush, so
sure.
we will bring in some rain for tomorrow. Then back to some sunshine midweek. And first and foremost, let's get to our viewer picture. And a beautiful shot here. Green Hill, which is just west of New Glasgow. And look at this.
Lots of green in Green Hill.
Farmland, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much to Karen for sharing this. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. That sky looks like it goes on forever. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Wet for tomorrow, but those fields do need a drink. And you can see that we'll be around 20 degrees. New Glasgow back towards Truro tomorrow. Should be in the high teens for most of Cape Breton, actually into some low 20s for Inverness County there, thanks to a little bit of morning sunshine. We'll see the clouds and showers building in overnight for western areas, then building into central for tomorrow morning, and then spreading eastward. And it is rain for Tuesday night. Then by Wednesday, starting to see some clearing out for western, then central areas. Cape Breton looks pretty damp from start to finish on Wednesday with rain. And we are looking at widespread amounts in the 20 to 30, even 40 millimeter range from this system, which again will advance from west to east across the province. And there's Tuesday evening, looking at a pretty damp one. I know lots of kids' outdoor activities right now, baseball and soccer and perhaps cricket, as we saw earlier in the program. But it is going to be wet for Tuesday evening into the overnight. Wednesday, we're going to be looking at that system sliding from west to east, moving out, and then some sunshine breaking through. By the time we get to Thursday, we're looking at a pretty nice day overall across the province. Some unsettled weather Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but once again, not a washout, and I think we'll see some sunshine in the mix, and we'll iron that out in the coming days.
Looking forward to that. Okay, thanks, Ryan. Norway football fans rode into Times Square to invade New York ahead of today's match against Senegal. Here you can see Norwegian fans in bright red shirts and their signature move, the row.
The move went viral after fans did it in Boston ahead of Norway's opener against Iraq last week. And since then, the row has exploded in popularity.
Fans have been doing the row in bars, public transport, and even in the Norwegian parliament.
Are they getting anywhere? That's the question.
Yeah.
That's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.